So, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing fine. Your family members are all doing fine during this time of coronavirus. Today I'm going to start with our module on CLC Legal, the topic being Art of Advocacy. So, what do we understand by advocacy? Advocacy is the duties of an advocate towards the society, duties that an advocate needs to adhere to during his day-to-day practice, or what are the principles that one needs to keep in mind while carrying out advocacy. So let's quickly take, so generally law is a science which does more to quicken the understanding than all other kinds of learning put together. So, law is the primary profession. It is a science which not only mixes human emotions along with other emotions, it also applies human emotions so that the appropriate picture can be put forward before the court of law. So, law is a science which applies human relationship. In the practice of profession, the lawyer has to deal with greatest possible variety of human relations and has and have constantly tried from every point to give special opportunity to equip himself with these qualities which count for preeminence of the society. So it is the lawyers who are actually the first listening box, sounding box of the accused, of the person in trouble. They would come to lawyers, and you, as an advocate, need to master the skill whereby you will even protect the interest of the lawyers, interest of the law profession, the law, and the human emotions. Now, how this art can be mastered is something which we can practice only with experience and only over time. But yes, law is a science that deals with human emotions. Normally, when we talk about legal profession, lawyers are given a backstep. Lawyers are not looked upon with respect. It is no longer regarded as a noble profession. However, it is up to us, up to you people, the young advocates who would be approaching the court of law, to get back this respect for the advocates. We have had in the past great advocates like respected Gandhi ji, Ambedkar ji, Palkiwala, who have immensely contributed to the field of law and who are looked upon in the highest sense of justice, ethic, and moral obligation. So it is your duty, your obligation to see how good a lawyer you would become and get back that tag of noble profession. The art of advocacy evolves around the skill of how it is the basic principle of the art of advocacy that you need to be noble, you need to give back to the society, you need to give back the emotions, you need to give back or protect the interest of your client. An advocate's duty is to instill confidence in the public. Rather, Rule 468 of Standard Professional Books of Etiquette, which is prescribed by State Bar Council of India, states, every advocate shall, in practice to the profession of law, bear in mind that anyone genuinely in need of lawyer is entitled to legal assistance even though he cannot pay for it fully or adequately, and that within the limits of an advocate's economic condition, free legal assistance to the oppressed is one of the highest obligation of that an advocate owes to the society. So we as advocates are the stepping stone, are the first layer who need to ensure the protection of interests. However, the people who are economically deprived, do not have good resources to approach the courts of law, having regard to the financial position of the advocate, should ensure that no justice is denied to anybody. just because an advocate was not available or an advocate was charging high fee for the profession. Let's quickly take up the advocate's duty. First, advocate's duty towards his client. It is very important that he must give a patient hearing to the client. He must examine all the papers. He must, after discussing the case with his client, advise him correctly. He should account for the client's money strictly and return the unspent amount to him. He must represent his client in court without hiding anything by maintaining utmost secrecy. He should not appear for two clients having conflict of interest. He should not in any way encourage any illegal transaction. When a settlement is pending or if an opinion needs to be given with regard to an appeal, it is the duty of the advocate to give right and correct opinion so that his client's interest can be protected. So, when you are entering into the field of advocacy, when you are entering into the field of becoming good lawyers, it is very important that you adhere to these responsibilities towards your client. There needs to be a good ethical, emotional protection of confidential information relationship between you and the client. Only when you ensure these points, you would be regarded as a good advocate and your skills of advocacy can be tested. Over time, the image of advocates is more of becoming, they come up with more and more delaying tactics. They come up with more and more money making, it has become more and more money making business and so on. But yes, as while mastering the skill of advocacy, it is very important you keep these basics in mind while you entertain your client. Having said that, it doesn't mean you always render information or give information free of cost or give legal opinion free of cost. Yes, keeping your financial position in, if you have had a client, you have taken money from him, it is the first rule of advocacy. You need to ensure your client's information, client's interest is protected in court of law. You know, it is often said that for an advocate, it is just a case, but for a client, it is just one case. I hope you understand. So, an advocate may have 5 to 6 cases listed every day, but for your client, it is just one case. It is it may be a decider, a matter of his property, a matter of his real estate, a matter of partition, suit, whatever may be the nature of interest that needs to be protected. But it is your duty to ensure that your client's interest is protected in all aspects. You need to maintain a transparent relationship with your client. Next, advocate's duty towards the court. The basic duty, of course, advocate is an officer of justice and friend to the court. He is the first person who will fight before the court of law for justice. He is the friend of the court. He needs to provide all possible best information to the judiciary so that the judiciary can give a non-biased, a correct opinion. Protection of justice is all in the hands of an advocate. Cooperation between the bench and bar is a necessity. So, so as we all know, there are various state bar councils across various states, and there is one national bar council. So it is very important that there is cooperation between a bench and a bar. Only when this is possible, will the interest of the advocates also be protected in the society. When what the council owes to the court, it is advocates' duty towards the opponent and opposing counsel. So, what is your duty towards your opponent and opposing counsel? It is very important. You may be the best of friends, you may be the best of advocates, but when you are presenting before the court of law, you need to give due respect to your opposing counsel. If there is any filing which is done, if there is any witness which is shared before the court, if there is any sort of information which is given before the judiciary, it is your duty as an advocate that that particular information is shared in advance with your opposing counsel. If this is not done, it will only lead to delay in justice. It is your duty towards the opponent and opposing counsel that all the information, all the production of witness you do before court of law needs to be shared with them in advance. Advocate's duty towards public, this is self-explanatory. It is his duty towards the public that he ensures the protection of justice. I think the previous points have already explained this. So I'm also sharing across some notes on this current topic in case, so this is just a basic introduction on the art of advocacy. Once you become an advocate, once you enter into this profession, do keep these skills in mind. It's a noble profession. You have duties, you have obligations towards the society, towards your clients, towards the court. You have to maintain that. Only then you would be regarded as a successful lawyer. So, having said so, when you enter into the profession, keep these things behind your mind, and only then you would be able to master the art of advocacy. So, we'll have the concept of civil trial, the stages in civil trial, the stages in criminal trial, and would go ahead with the class. In case of any doubt, do get back to me. My email ID is Ratna, RATHNA, Malhotra, MALHOTRA, @gmail.com. Thank you so much for your time, and do take good care of everybody in your family and yourself. Thank you so much.